Thanks for tuning in to LAKings.com and Kings Vision. I'm LA Kings insider John Rosen, radio color commentator Daryl Evans right here to my right. Daryl, let's talk about the week that was. The Kings coming off of a road trip. They were 2-2-1 on this road trip, but really, I don't think you can really look at the numbers or at least the overall record and get a really good firm sense. A lot of those games could have gone either way, and the Kings played some of their better hockey this season over those 5 games.
They did, John. There were a lot of positive things over the course of that week, and like you say, the numbers maybe don't reflect what they put out on the ice. Still, at the end of the day, I think any time that you can go on the road and come back getting at least half the points, you're in a pretty good position. Some of the buildings they went into are tough buildings to go to. It was the first Kings road trip of any length. So all in all, I thought they fared well, and they're in a position to win each and every one of those games.
Well, you saw the Kings really go in a heavyweight battle against the Tampa Bay Lightning to finish off that road trip last Wednesday. The style of play, the Kings did a very good job coming back, really seizing control of the game over the second and third period. Ultimately didn't win. That game went into a shootout, though they did have opportunities in that third period in overtime to win. And you saw them transfer over that energy, that emotion, that type of performance into Saturday night's game against the Chicago Blackhawks. One of the best games that we've seen, at least in the regular season last year or two at Staples Center. It wasn't just that third period comeback against Chicago. The Kings had a very strong performance throughout the entirety of those 63 minutes of action.
They did, and they had to, because when you look at the Chicago Blackhawks, right off the bat, they had a great opportunity. Patrick Kane was in the slot all alone. Jonathan Quick was forced to make a grade A save. That's the first shot that you see. And you could tell right from that point on that I think the fans were going to be in for a good night. They're going to get treated to some great hockey, and that's exactly what we saw. Chicago, they've won 3 cups. Kings have won 2, 5 out of the last 6 between the two teams. So not surprised to see a tight game and an exciting game. Kings started to get more chances as the game went on, and I think they started to get more in control. Chicago was coming towards the end of their road trip, 6th game on a 6-game road trip. The Kings, their first game back home after a 5-game road trip. So almost like it's an extension of a road trip for them. So I thought it really turned out to be one of the more exciting games that like we've seen during the regular season. And to see the Kings come out at the top end of it, even better, and the guys that were involved in the score sheet, exactly what the Kings needed.
Marian Gaborik was the game winner, game tying goal in that game as well. When you looked at overtime, 18 combined Stanley Cups by the 4 players on each side, combining at the start of that overtime session, which was just really special. Talking about Gaborik specifically, though, he's somebody whose game has really started to come along over the last 3-4 games. You saw it in the Florida game, a big insurance goal that the Kings were able to score, create some distance in that third period against the Panthers. He was the most impactful player, at least on the score sheet, for the Los Angeles Kings on Saturday night as well. When the Kings practiced on Monday, they were really trying to cultivate their goal scoring. They had 3-on-1 type drills, which, as Daryl Sutter explained, the team still has some players that are at 0s and 1s on the score sheet right now. They're looking to grow that goal scoring. You saw that really as a focal point in practice back on Monday. So when you look at these upcoming games, Kings have a big divisional game against the Vancouver Canucks on Tuesday. They will then rebound with a back-to-back home set over the weekend. 2 very powerful teams. Teams that, well, they've shown good defensive numbers this year, but you would expect to be among the higher scoring teams in the league coming in the Pittsburgh Penguins and Tampa Bay Lightning. So again, cultivating that goal scoring, hopefully getting Marian Gaborik and the wings alongside Anze Kopitar going. That'll be one of the things to watch as this home stand progresses.
That's what you have to do, John. And like you said, Daryl Sutter putting in drills, 3-on-1s, and these are drills that you expect to score goals in or create grade A scoring chances. Marian Gaborik's a guy that they have to see on that score sheet. And when you see that, and we know the consistency of Carter's line, all of a sudden now the Kings are a very difficult team to play against. The potential of putting the puck in the net becomes that much greater. It'll eventually spread out onto the power play as well. But the separation, the speed that Marian Gaborik has, we saw the release on his shot. He hit a crossbar in the second period. Even if those pucks aren't going in every night, if he's creating those chances, he's going to put the other team on their heels. That opens up more space for the other guys. And eventually, as this year goes on, the Kings continue to spend a lot of time on the road, those bottom 6 forwards, the 3rd and 4th units, have to find a way to be able to start chipping in with some goals here and there. Dustin Brown's got that ability. We're starting to see more come out of that line. Shore on that line, Andrioff's been put on the left side. So we're starting to see that. And you go back to the game in Florida, it was that 4th unit, Kyle Clifford, Jordan Nolan, they were part of that one, figuring on that goal. The go-ahead goal proved to be the game winner. So it's important for those guys to become involved.
So one of the aspects that is common when you're talking about Dustin Brown, when you're talking about Marian Gaborik, or even less tenured players like Nick Shore, these players are playing in the attacking zone. The Kings structure remains excellent right now. For whatever type of stock you want to put into the analytics or the possession numbers, these are all players that when you're just looking solely at the shot attempts per game and shot attempts over the course of a season, they're being more inclined to be playing in the offensive end, getting those shot attempts going. So when you look at the upcoming games this coming week, and again, other teams that are traditionally strong, playing the puck in the attacking zone, teams that have had some postseason success recently, teams that we're talking about, of course, Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, the Kings, again, can rely back on that structure. The Kings still one of the stingiest teams in the league. Their special teams has improved vastly this season as well. But when it comes down to keeping the puck out of their own net, that's still been and will continue to be a very big King strength.
Yeah, it's the backbone of the hockey club, without a doubt. It has been, as they built 2 championships over the last 4 years. That's exactly what they have to do. It's defense first, then the offensive opportunities will come. And so many people, when we talk to them when we're on the road, what impresses you about the Kings? The Kings play the game the right way, and that is taking care of detail in the defensive zone. And it starts with your top players. When guys like Drew Doughty, Anze Kopitar, your top players offensively from their respective positions, when they're thinking defense first, that just spreads out amongst everybody else. And when you got a goaltender like Jonathan Quick and the way Enroth's been able to play in goal, they've been able to get those steady, big saves when they need them. And it starts there. A little bit more timing on the goals. If they can get to that magical number of 3, this is a very difficult team to beat.
You're bringing up Drew Doughty. You're bringing up Anze Kopitar. Jeff Carter also has that terrific defensive acumen as well. Those were the 3 players that the Kings had on the ice when that overtime started. I'm still going back to that overtime right now. Hopefully we see a couple more exciting overtimes over the course of this homestand. Kings are 3-0 when games have been decided in 3-on-3 overtime this season. A lot more fun to come this coming week. Some very good opponents coming in. You got the Sedins on Tuesday. You have Sidney Crosby on Saturday, Steven Stamkos, Tyler Johnson, who has been banged up. Well, the Tampa Bay Lightning, a very potent squad coming in on Sunday as well. A lot of fun to be had at Staples Center. We'll give you all the reports from back here at Toyota Sports Center. From Daryl Evans and myself, Kings Vision and LA Kings Insider, thanks again for watching.